So, this is my first little weekly vlog. I'm going to be posting these every Sunday and just basically taking you guys along and showing you guys everything I do with my fish tanks throughout the week. Today, we need to get some tanks looking good again. I was super busy with school throughout the semester and let a couple tanks get out of hand, so we're going to go give them all a revamp today and get everything looking nice. And yeah, I'll just take you guys along the way and hopefully you can learn something new and apply it to your fish tanks. But let's get started. So I'm currently editing the video and I realized the first clip I accidentally deleted somehow, so that's a great start to this series. So basically what we're going to start off with is I'm going to be changing the regulator on my 40-gallon breeder. And there's a couple reasons for this. In the past I was using this little Dici single stage, single gauge regulator. And there's a couple problems with regulators like this. First up, you can't adjust the pressure that's going through it. You can adjust how many bubbles per second, but not the exact pressure that's being allowed to pass through your regulator. And because of this, you may get inconsistent levels of CO2 going through your diffuser. And as my diffusers got dirty, the CO2 levels would change, and this kind of caused problems and could have been what caused BBA in tanks in the past. And at this point, it also was barely pumping any CO2 through the regulator. I think it just got a bit too old. I've had this thing for almost 3 years, so I decided to get an upgrade. Now, let's get back to the vlog. So today, to deal with this, we got a CO2 Art Pro SE CO2 regulator. Now I got this at aquariumco2.ca, and if you're interested in getting your own, you can use discount code KALEM for 5% off your order. Now I'm not going to show the unboxing or setup because I already have a video setting up the Pro Elite, which is a similar version to this one, except it has a manifold here that you can attach multiple tanks from. So you can use one regulator to run multiple tanks with the Pro Elite. The Pro SE is pretty much the same, except it only works on one tank. So now I'm going to go set this thing up, attach it to the tank, and show you how much CO2 is going to go through this regulator now. So now that the regulator is added, you can see it produces a ton of bubbles. We'll come back to the 40 breeder later. For now I'm going to go work on the 7.5 gallon cube, which just needs some touch-ups. The 7.5 low-tech tank, which you guys may have seen me set up a while ago, is doing okay. You know, there's some things that could be going a lot better and some things that could be going a lot worse. For example, there's a ton of guppies in that tank, but there's also a ton of algae. And to start off, I'm going to remove all these floaters so we can see this tank just a bit better. I think first up, I should probably clean up this little sand bed and find a way to arrange the rocks so that the aqua soil doesn't keep falling over. I mean, it's not only the aqua soil, it's also the couple of shrimp I have in this tank that like to pick it up and bring it over. So I'm going to try a new way of loading the sand into the tank. I have a turkey baster filled with it, and I've just got my finger over the hole, and now, oh, that's perfect. I'm just gonna spray it in. Water's pretty cloudy now, but we're gonna make it worse. I'm gonna try to go in and stir up all the waste that's near the surface of my substrate. And how am I doing this? I'm just taking the turkey baster again. If you don't have a turkey baster, I really recommend getting one. They help you a ton with your planted tank maintenance, and just stirring up the substrate very lightly, you know, getting all the dust into the water column so I can suck it out in just a second with a siphon. And I'm also gonna make sure to drain out this turkey baster because there could be baby guppies in here. So I realized I forgot to scrape the algae, so I filled the tank up a little bit more to go and do all that, and then I'm gonna drain it back down, and then I think I'm gonna add some Monte Carlo to this tank. So to start this process, we're just gonna pluck some of the Liliopsis brasiliensis that is right close to the rocks here, or where I want to plant the Monte Carlo, and move it a bit further back if I can. So currently I'm replanting some Liliopsis brasiliensis I just ripped out, and you can see how I'm holding it. I've noticed if you grab this stuff by the roots, it's a lot easier to plant just because the chains are so annoying to fit into your substrate. But down here, right up front where that blue bolt shrimp is. I've cleared out a little area to put some Monte Carlo, as well as some will be going back over here. So I'm just gonna go rip this out of my 20-gallon long. So the Monte Carlo is in, and it really brightens things up, and I'm hoping it's going to drape over the rocks in this area here and look really good. I'm also happy I changed the sand because it looks way better now with clean sand again. I forgot how good it looked before. So now it's time to go do some work on the 40-gallon breeder. This tank, it's overdue for some maintenance. So in the 40 breeder back in early March, I trimmed back the Stargine Repens carpet. Here you can see before, and then March is when I trimmed it and it hasn't grown back at all. And I guess that was to do with my CO2, so that's part of the reason we got this new regulator in. The Monte Carlo was also trimmed around the same time and it's grown back a tiny bit, but not as fast as it was growing before, so hopefully this new regulator will help with that. Today what I want to do is take all these crypts around here and move them behind the Rotala Vietnam H-Raw, which is all the way up at the top of the water. So this stuff I'm going to trim and then replant where these crypts are and put the crypts back where the Rotala was, and this is going to make a complete mess. So the crypts have been moved to this garbage bag where I'm just going to store them temporarily until I'm ready to put them back in the tank. And I'm just going to cover that up so they stay moist. So I'm going to replant all the plants I took out and just switch the positions, and then I'm going to shoot the tank again tomorrow when the water is a little bit more clear, because I've already done 2 water changes and you can still barely see in there. So it's actually 2 days after I recorded the last parts of this video, but let's talk about the changes I've made. Right now the tank is still pretty murky, and that's basically because I guess my filter floss has been filled up with the waste that I stirred up while making all these changes. So this weekend I'll go in there, switch out the filter floss for some new stuff, and then hopefully get it nice and clear again. Because right now, like I said, it's still pretty murky after even 2 days. So for the changes I did, I moved the crypts that were in this little corner here. They had gone right up to the front of the glass and they are now removed. I kept the bigger ones and put them towards the back, and then I moved my Rotala Vietnam H-Raw in front of them. I don't know how well this will do. Hopefully I can kind of control the height it gets to, and make it look good somehow. And then in front of the rotella, I actually put in some Laganendra miboldi red. And this has quickly become one of my favorite plants. It's pretty similar to how crypts grow, except it seems to stay a lot shorter. It gets nice big round leaves that kind of have speckles like you see in Bucephalandra, and they're super stunning plants. And I'm excited to see, you know, how it'll fill in here and see if it works. Anyways guys, I hope you really enjoyed this little vlog. Let me know what you think of this format, and if I should continue doing it or not, or if you'd rather more educational videos down below in the comments. But anyways guys, this was Calum's Fish Tanks. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace.